I got lucky and I got to go to a conference out in Las Vegas. And the reason I thought I was so lucky was Bill, one of the teachers that was going to present there, was noted as the outstanding teacher in the LA school district. And she worked with the toughest kids that they had. In fact, what she did is she taught what you called an alternative school within a regular high school. And so I just couldn't wait to sit down and listen to that because I know I'm going to get some really practical stuff. And it turned out to be such a boring presentation. Oh, she had all of her handouts, and she had all the theory, and she read to us excerpts from books, and it was pretty dry. Now, there was a guy in the class who was not a very nice man, but he served the purpose for that day because he started yelling out. He said, "We only got an hour with you. If you're supposed to be so good, tell us what really works with these kids." In fact, he said, "I'll make it easy for you. Just tell us the one thing that you can't do without when you work with kids like this, these tough inner-city school kids." And she was so flustered. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I prepared so hard. I really wanted to do a good job. Oh, what is it? I don't know." And then she finally said, "I know. It's relationship." She said, "I've got to build a relationship with those kids so that they will take a risk for me that they would not take for anybody else." And she said, and by the way, a big risk for these kids is not to take on another kid out there in the street with a knife or a fight or whatever. She said, "I'll tell you what is a real risk for these kids, and that is to take out a piece of paper and a pencil and write an assignment when they're afraid they can't do it as well as the other kids. That's a risk, and they're not going to do that for just anybody." And she said, "Let me tell you how I get it started. First day of school," she said, "I've got something for them to do at their seats that they can do with somebody else so they don't need me. I park myself right out in front of that door, and while I'm out there, I'm greeting those kids, and I'm giving them the 3 elements of love." Now, what are the 3 elements of love? Eye contact, touch, and smiles. Now, why are those so important in our lives? Eye contact, touch, and smiles. Well, let me take you back to the days in the crib. You're a little baby in the crib and you have all kinds of needs that you cannot meet for yourself. You're hot, or you're wet, or you're dry, or you're hungry, or something burns, or something itches, or whatever, and the only way you have to get your needs met is to cry. And you cry out, and you cry out some more. And in a healthy family, what happens? An adult comes, looks down into your eyes, eye contact, picks you up with a big smile, and then meets that need that you so desperately needed. And that cycle repeats itself over and over and over and over. And then when we become bigger, if somebody will not look in our eyes, not smile, and refuse our handshake, what do we feel? We feel rejected. So she said, I have to be out there giving them eye contact, touching, and smiles. And I know these are the kind of kids who don't go for gushy kind of touching. So I'm out there in the hall. I'm trying to catch their eyes before they catch mine. I try to smile before they even see me. And I touch them in some way, whatever is acceptable for them. Maybe I'm giving them an elbow. Maybe I'm giving them high five. And I'm thanking them for coming to school. And I'm saying, I'm so glad I got you in my class, because I hear you're the baddest kid in the whole neighborhood, and I just love working with bad kids. We're going to just go do fine. And the kids look at me and say, you're weird, man. She said, it's the most important thing I do every day. And starting the next day, I'm out there noticing things. I'm out there saying, how's your mom doing? She get back from the hospital yet? How's your little sister? Hey, you're going to get to play ball this weekend? What do you think? I notice you're driving. I notice. She said, that's how I connect with those kids, because I've got to get them to take a big risk for me. And she said, by the way, she said, it works out so well, I'm the only teacher on the whole staff who can leave the faculty meeting before it's over. Yeah, she said we had this real long-winded principal. So we tricked him. We said we wanted faculty meetings before school instead of after school, so he'd have to shut up when the kids came to school. So she said, first faculty meeting, he's droning on. I thought, I got to get down there and meet my kids. So I started to get up and I started to go, where are you going? She said, I got to go meet my kids. The most important thing I do is to meet them before they get in that classroom. She said, it's important. And he said, this is important. And she said, look, if I cannot be there to meet my kids every morning with eye contact, touch, and smile before they walk into that classroom, you're going to have to choose some other teacher on this staff to teach those kids. And in unison, they all yelled out, send her! We'll tell her all about it. But why I was so excited that day when I heard her talking that way is she was talking about a love and logic technique called the I noticed routine. And the next time I'm with you, I'm going to show you just how to do that and how to make it work with the most uncooperative kid that you can ever imagine.